hold up. This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rockoff's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you? I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse though, right? Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner-class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong, the quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work, and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. Oh, sorry, that area's off limits. No exceptions. No, sorry, I'm afraid it's impossible. Trident regulations strictly prohibit anyone from entering the life support area without a valid reason. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, it's just that I could lose my job, you know? Oh, really? Well, that changes things quite a bit. Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away? Honestly, he's a seasoned ship captain. He told me he was a long hauler for years and the experience shows. Only thing is, he's always talking about trade deals and plans for get-rich-quick schemes. It's all the guy ever thinks about. Why he decided to be a Starliner captain, I'll never know. It's almost like he craves being around money. Tell you what though, for someone that loves credit so much, he sure doesn't mind gambling them when we play cards. Remember not to touch anything, please.
emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me why you're here. Doesn't take a genius to deduce you're the one that's responsible. I locked onto you from the moment you entered the ballroom, and I've watched you trying to clock Dombrowski. After we spoke, I had a feeling you'd pull a stunt like this. I always took him for a fool. I can't believe he's stupid enough to have gotten mixed up with the Crimson Fleet. Still, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over any evidence?
Until you receive further instructions.
Don't act so surprised. You didn't really think I'd make a deal with Claudia or Dombrowski without having a little insurance policy of my own, did you? Huh? If I've learned anything in my years at the corporate fraud division, it's always have an exit strategy. Claudia said that. You sure? Damn it! That means my money's already gone. And Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to end up on the Crimson Fleet shit list. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I'll end up in jail. This is a lose-lose situation for me. Dombrowski had the authorization to wipe out records on Galbank's system without raising any red flags. I let Claudia talk me into that. She said she had him wrapped around her finger. Apparently, she was wrong. Oh, I've got everything you're gonna need. This is a one-stop shop for you. We're talking a slate loaded with dates, account numbers, ID scans, even an audio recording. It was my little insurance policy in case the shit hit the fan. There's a solid enough trail here to send Dombrowski straight to jail.
All passengers, may I have
At least I walk away with something. All right, you have yourself a deal. Here, with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it. Just because I'm helping you nail Dombrowski doesn't mean I'm turning my back on UC security. How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this comes crashing down? No, you can leave me out of your merry little band of pirates, thank you very much. All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Akande to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Akande's loaded with big picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly close to Dombrowski, I think she's suffered enough. On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends that can, well, let's just say, take care of the problem. That's if you leave him alive, of course. We'll just have to wait and see. You better tell Dombrowski to run, because if you don't kill him, I will.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
is in progress as we speak. You should expect your profits from our venture soon. You must be patient.
No way, Larry. This is not what we agreed. You said the money would be in our accounts by the 1st of the month.
Give it a rest. It isn't like we're making regular withdrawals. If things aren't done carefully, it'll trip an audit. Is that what you want?
Of course not. But we're risking our asses here, and we've seen what, maybe 5-8% tops? We were promised a third of the final figure.
And, as promised, when all is said and done, that's exactly what you'll receive. You must understand we're absconding with an inordinately vast amount of capital from Galbank's coffers. Eventually, the shortfall will be discovered. As Claudia has so eloquently stated, if the transactions aren't siphoned at a reasonable rate, the audit team will be dispatched and our plan ruined. Give it time, my friend. You'll get your share, a third for each of us, as promised.
A third of 500,000 credits. Can't you just taste it? I think I'm gonna head straight for Neon with my share, put myself up at the Hotel Voli, and blow a shitload of money at the Astral Lounge. You'll come with me, won't you, Larry? I don't want to spend all that cash alone.
Of course, my darling. I can't think of a finer way to spend our time together.
Oh, look, I'm gonna lay this all on the line. You have 2 more weeks to make this happen, or we're gonna have a problem. 2 weeks, Dombrowski. That's it.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort of negotiation. You don't actually believe that I'd venture into such precarious criminal territory without a proper bird's-eye view of the situation, do you? I'm uncertain why you've become entangled in this spider's web, but this situation demands swift and resolute action.
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion.
Before we begin, let's review the facts. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud Galbank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. You may as well ask, is it necessary for the sun to set on Jemison, or for one to wear a pressure suit when entering the vacuum of space? I see. That certainly places a damper on our negotiations. Perhaps I can hasten my diatribe to temper your violence-ridden contribution. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my Galbank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along?
All passengers.
Obviously, that wouldn't be my preference, but I have little choice. Though Larry Dombrowski will be mysteriously vanishing after this cruise, and possession of the credentials
becomes ludicrous at that point. Well, I'm surprised you even posed that question at all. The answer is quite obvious. The last thing I'd want to do at this point is call attention to myself. Splendid. It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify that for you. It sounds like we have a deal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is just a minor malfunction or a drill.
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. I wish you hadn't blown away the gambling debt that Sandine owed me. But hey, you got the job done.
All passengers.
I'm glad
May
you
I
feel
have
that
your
way.
attention, please?
Just remember to tell
The
that
captain
guy how
has
much I
declared
pitched
a
into him.
ship-wide emergency.
You know, I'm still
Please
wondering
report to your
exactly
cabins
what
in
you
an
needed
orderly
those
fashion
credentials for.
and remain there
You feel
until
like
you
telling me,
receive further
partner?
instructions.
I usually have a nose for these things, but in your case, it's a mystery. Very frustrating. Whatever the case may be, it's apparently worth risking your life over. That's telling me it involves a lot of money. That also means I want in. Crix's legacy. Are you serious? I heard Delgado was spinning that yarn, but I thought it was more of a hobby with him. Have things really gotten that desperate? Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Overreach. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call you from now on, so get used to it. Nonsense. If there's one universal constant you can depend on, it's that Yevgeny Rokov always makes good on his deals. Always. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be aboard the Key.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.